today. First of all, my wife and I would like to thank you all for coming and sharing our special day with us. There's people who have come from far and wide, but no more so than Alicia and Fergal, who have come from United Arab Emirates, and my best man Rhys Williams and his wife Christina, who've come from Tulsa. And just for information, Tulsa wins by 8 miles. The curriculum there for you. I want to start by saying or you can go outside. Just work with me for 5 minutes. I want to start by saying how beautiful Lucie looks today. She never ceases to amaze me how she pulls this off day to day. And even in a onesie, she still looks great. But that's warning number 3. But today I was truly taken aback. You look absolutely sensational. All of what you see today is here because of Lucie's hard work and vision. You're absolutely amazing. And the first toast goes to Lucie.
Yay!
I thought I'd begin by giving people an idea of how Lucie and I first met. I just started my teacher training in the metropolis that is Hereford. I was in a bar that can only be described as Beirut, bullet holes included. And I asked a girl who was next to me who that girl was. And she said, "Oh, that's Lucie, a physio." And I have to admit, my first thought was, great, because my back is killing me. I said I'd really like to speak to her, and after about an hour, I think I'd run out of jokes. But I managed to get her number. She must have just taken pity on me. My friend who I was with said, "Do you realise you spent an hour talking to a random girl?" Of which I said, "I do, because I think I'm going to marry her." Crowd are. He said, "Don't be stupid, and if you think that gets you out to buy the next round, you've got another thing coming." The pity remained for the following week, and we met up for coffee. He was late. I wasn't happy with this, as I had arrived my standard 43 minutes early. When she walked in, late, I asked her, "How come you're late? Did somebody die?" To which she said, "Yes. One of my favourite patients in intensive care." True. But I must have done something right, because the rest is history. When I finally plucked up the courage to ring Lucie's dad, John, for his daughter's hand in marriage, the phone call went something like this. Ring, ring. Ring, ring. Hello. Hi, Jan, it's Rhys. What do you want? I said, "I want to speak to John."
Why?
Why? What's that? I said I'd like to ask him something. What? Bloody hell, Jan. So I said, "Well, okay, Jan, I was going to ask you a little bit later, but I'd really like to ask Lucie to marry me." She said, "Oh, for God's sake, I can't handle this anymore."
It's a Welsh thing.
To which she handed the phone to John. I said, "All right, John." She said, "Yes." I said, "John," I said, "I've been with Lucie for many, many years. I'd really like to ask her to marry me." And he said, "Oh yes, you better get on with that then." I said, "Do you realise Pink Floyd are playing the O2 next year?" I said, yes I do. And with that, the other phone gets picked up again. "I am not going to let my youngest daughter go easily." And I said, "Well, did you not care about the other two?" I promised that day that I would look after her, and that will always be my main priority.
Quite right.
Since meeting the Emmets, I've been made to feel very welcome. I thank them for this. Today I've got a wife, a mother-in-law, father-in-law, 2 new brothers-in-law, and 2 extra sisters, which is just what I wanted. Cheap. The Emmet family are exceptionally close, especially the girls, and I've learned very quickly from John that when the 4 of them together, move away, stay away, and speak when you're spoken to. Correct. Sian and Cerys, Lucie considers you not only as her sisters, but as her very, very best friends. And Jan and John, you mean the absolute word to her. I'd like to thank my parents for putting up with me. And I just hope I've made you proud. People have always considered me to be the rose between 2 thorns with my sisters. I'm going with that. And I received an apology card today, which I thought was a little bit strange on my wedding day. And it said, "Dear Rhys, we are very, very sorry for all the grief we've put you through over the years. We hope that you find it in your heart to forgive us. So, Rhian and Harad, apology accepted. And I love you very much." It is customary at all important life events to remember those who cannot be with us today. I'm sure you'll all join me in a toast to absent friends and family. Wait. Should have left the obedience thing in. But it's not a case of remembering somebody, it's all about never forgetting them. So please raise your glasses to absent friends and family. Before I hand over to my best man, we would like to thank you all for coming today, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the occasion. A big thank you goes to Dave and Sian for doing the reading so well, and for Cerys for doing such an incredible job playing the violin when Lucie walked down the aisle. I thought you were excellent. Miss! That's miss now.
Please start again. Go on, Cerys.
Well done, Cerys. Ruined. I've known Rhys. Very good.
I need to know that too.
I've known Rhys for 28 years, and we've got up to all manner of things in the past. And I'm glad that he won't be speaking about that today. But I've got 2 instances that really shine out in my mind about us together. And that was when we travelled the world together. How pathetic we were. We were the worst travellers ever. The first place we stopped at was Thailand. We went into Bangkok to the Golden Palace. Not that Golden Palace. And this Golden Palace is where people queue for days to get in to see it, and it's on many people's bucket lists. We couldn't be bothered to queue, so we flagged down a taxi to drive past it. We wound the window down, took a picture, and thought that was acceptable. The second instance is we lived in Sydney together for 5 months, and we passed the Opera House every day on the way to work, but we decided before Rhys went up the coast a little bit ahead of me, we'd go and see the Opera House. So I made him go. We walked up to the Opera House. He stood there and went, "Well, that's nice. Fancy a beer?" And that was pretty much the end of that. So I won't give away any more stories, so if you'd like to give Rhys Williams a round of applause to him.